What is going on? I am Anon Moose. We are here on the TMOZ HQ18 XP46 account. There is a ridiculously good deal in the shop right now. That shop is half price instant training and extra builder for 67% off. Great deal. Wish they would give a deal on the Admiral's key as well, but beggars can't be choosers. Now, there's a rumor going around that if you buy instant training, you also get extra builder for free. There's also another rumor going around that if you buy instant training, it just looks like you get extra builder for free. So what we're going to do is I am going to enter my code in my boost. Yes, I can boost myself. That's sort of strange for sure. And then I'm going to buy instant training, and we're going to see if we get free extra builder. So right now, I'm going to pause the video. That way you don't see my password and sign in and all that sort of stuff. And we'll be back in just one moment. Okay, so your purchase was all successful. You're all set. You'll notice that now it says extra builder active. So I did not buy the extra builder. We only bought instant training. Now we see if we can actually build two things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start an upgrade on something that's going to take a while. 20 hours. Let's get that started. And now let's see if we're able to build something else. Let's see if we can build a mortar right here. We can't. So it just looks like, let's stop that upgrade. It just looks like you have instant training. You don't actually get the extra build. Sorry, you do have instant training. We're going to test to make sure we actually do have instant training. Let's do that first of all, because if not, that would be a massive... Okay, so instant training does work, but there's a visual glitch there where it looks like I have extra builder, but I don't. So you're going to have to buy the extra builder as well. You don't get a 2-for-1 sort of purchase, unfortunately. On the plus side, I've now got extra instant troops, endless reserves, ITER, whatever you want to call it. So I can pick up these chests. As you can see, this account is ranked a little bit lower than the rest simply because of the fact that I have been running out of troops. And so when I run out of troops, this account gets put to the very bottom. I maxed Grenadiers on this account simply because using Grenadiers was an easy way to farm chests. I've also got maxed Heavies. Also have shock mines. Let's max those shock mines. Shock mines are a complete and utter game changer. On my other accounts, what I've done is I have set it up so that we have... what am I trying to say? I went for brick first. On this account, no way Jose went straight for shock mines. So this base doesn't really make a lot of sense. The middle mines were all about Grenadiers, but I think we can still win nonetheless. Now that, oh, we've got a 5 win streak. Perfect. Let's keep that. You know what? Win streak done. There's no, every single time I start a video like this, the win streak is goners. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to flare that engine room right there. It's amazing how much slower things are when you don't have brick. Using battle orders to rush that engine room just makes everything feel so much faster. I don't know if it's because there's an extra button press to get battle orders going or because the troops actually do move quicker, but it just feels so much different not having brick. But as you'll see, hopefully by this video, you can win without brick. Brick is not a key feature. It's all about the shock mines. Whenever I see a base that doesn't have shock mines, I can guarantee myself that it's going to be a win as long as I don't let my flares expire, as you saw right in there. Now let's flare this last engine room. Get those dudes and ladies and whatever the heck they are running. All dudes, I suppose it is. This should be an easy win. The fact that my flare expired mid-attack going to be the only downside. 3 minutes, 5 seconds, not a fantastic time, but really we're banking on our shock mines to give us the win. So my base, not a good one. Don't copy this base under any circumstances, but really for rank 12, it should be, look at that. We got to win. Yay, team. Now what I'm going to do here is we're going to upgrade that flare to level 4. Level 4 flares make the world go round. Let's keep this win streak going. See just how long we can get going. This sort of base should be able to get us up into rank 15 or 16 fairly reasonably. The fact that all of those engine rooms are at the very back should save us a little bit of time. Again, no brick is sort of painful. Now, I've heard from a couple people that went down through smokes to get to the 4th engine room instead of through the med kit, and that is something that appeals to me on this account. Might be going that route. Let me know in the comments if you chose the smoke over the med kits. And the place where I most see smoke being useful is when you're stuck, hit by a shock mine. And I know that I am behind on this account. This account only has 3 engine rooms, barely. So there are players who are at 4 engine rooms. There might even be players at 5 engine rooms. I haven't checked in today. Far too busy, as you can tell by the fact that my video is coming out very, very late in the day. Let's throw a shock on top of those heavies. Moving on up. And your strategies really... Things are easy until you start to see shock mines. Then you have to mix things up. You have to look at doing Gren with heavies, or heavies with riflemen, or heavies with riflemen with the occasional Gren mixed in to clear mines. There are lots and lots of different strategies, whether you're using flares or no flares, whether you have brick or no brick. Let's just have a quick look here. See, I could afford brick, but I'm kind of tempted to not use brick on this account. The only problem is then I won't have troop damage. So realistically, I will be going back for brick, but it's fun to talk as if I'm not going to. You'll notice that I also have the choice node on this one. I'm not sure why I chose the sniper tower. That might have been from a long time ago. And the beautiful thing about that is at least we can switch that up. I really do like those choice nodes and the fact that you can change them up. I do not have confidence that I'm going to get all the way to rank number 16, so I am going to take the chests on this video. If I had more time, I probably wouldn't take them, but today being Friday, oh, we've got our first shock mine. They're only level 3, so they should have somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 of them, I believe. I think you get 2 extra per level, so we should be able to avoid most of those shock mines, and the shock mines are not placed terribly well, so we should be able to avoid basically all of them. Instead of going wide on the left-hand side, I'm just going to go right first, and then this person's shock mines will not play a factor at all, so just need to get all of our heavy dudes dropped. It's going to cost an extra 2 seconds or so going to the right first, I think, is my general impression. But really, that is going to be faster than having to worry about hitting one of those shock mines. This should get us past all of those shock mines. I probably should have flared into this very corner just to get all my troops away from any chances of shock mines, and this way they're going to hit the HQ anyways. I have found that flaring the HQ or the engine room or whatever the heck you want to call it can definitely slow down your dudes. So I have been trying to get my flares a little bit more carefully placed. Now, using this extra flare is going to make our troops walk up high, which is going to be good, but at the same time, it's going to remove the ability to use an extra flare. So I had to choose between a flare and a shock there. So using those extra flares do definitely have downsides. On this base, I figured because we managed to avoid all their shock mines, it was worthwhile. Whether that's sustainable going forward or not necessarily the case. Now, did we pull out? I think we might have broken our win streak. I got this like bad feeling in my guts. Oh, never mind. That was misplaced for certain. So already picked up 3 chests on this video, and we're only 8 minutes in. Plus we debunked the whole free second builder business. I know there's a lot of hype about that, but on my main account, I'm fully maxed, so I just couldn't look into that. So throwing it onto TMOS, worthwhile. Now, hopefully I can somehow make that, what is that? Probably that's $7 back somehow. Hopefully this video reminds you guys to throw my name in your creator code. I don't know if I will ever get any pennies back from it, but just having the potential there is worthwhile, I think. We're going to do a shock as soon as we get right into range of those flamethrowers. Flamethrowers are just a game changer as well. On my other accounts, I did not have flamethrowers, had to go back for them simply because heavies and shock mines and flamethrowers, dangerous combination. Now we're going to do that flare. Oh, I just did not mean to throw that first flare. That was a total mistaken flare, just a complete and utter fat fingering. That did not sound super PG-13. Nonetheless, let's see if we can't get down these last 2 engine rooms. Oh man, I thought I threw that flare way too early, but it ended up being perfectly timed. I love it when those flares come out in midair as the engine room explodes. Those are the little itty-bitty bits of satisfaction that I get from Warships. Just when you're throwing those flares before the building explodes, and there's such high chances that your troops are going to move away and you're going to have to flare back, and bad things happen. Mighty Mel struggling against our base, as you can see there. I got a little bit of flack in my last video for not showing replays, also for showing failures. Personally, with Warships, I've been trying to get you guys the metas earlier as opposed to later, and that for me is painful. Showing off failures is very, very hard for me, but the few of you who commented and said, hey, I copied this, it managed to get me up a rank, managed to get me out of a rut. Thank you so much for those comments, because the haters, I mean, typically with my attacks, they're like I release perfect attacks or very, very good attacks, and so there aren't the haters. With Warships, I've been trying to break that mold and just give you the videos as soon as possible without going back to the well over and over again. So this weird balance that I am struggling with. I have to like accept my vulnerabilities or something. There's like something going on there, and it's hard to release videos where I'm failing. Like my last Warships video, I literally failed 3 times in a row, but I didn't want to draw the video out, make it any longer than it had to be, and I wanted to get you guys that meta because I knew a bunch of you were struggling. So hopefully we can find that weird balance. So far, I'm not there yet, but maybe soon enough. Let's keep these dudes running. The beautiful thing about Heavies is they don't tend to die. So I've never had instant training on this account. I guess I have, but not for Warships and not for a long, long time. So definitely getting into Heavies, using Grenadiers as well has been a great combo. I've seen some fantastic hits by people where they're using a combination of Heavy and Grenadiers. And on this account, assuming I can get it to a high enough level, I'm excited to give those a shot. So on my other accounts, I have not maxed Grenadiers, so there has been a bit of a limitation there for me. Let's see if we can keep this win streak going. Now, one of the points that a number of high-level Warships players pointed out to me was that those players that are on the leaderboard that have these 70% win rates, these 66% win rates, the reason why they have those win rates is because partially because, I don't want to start a flame war here, that they started at a lower rank, which is easier wins. So if you started at rank 1 through 9 potentially, you get a few extra easy wins under your belt, and that obviously they had to play more, but that can help win rate. So if you're wondering how some of these players have a higher win rate, like these 64%, 62% and things like that, they potentially started at a lower rate. Obviously, that's not necessarily the case for the leaderboard players, but in your task force, if you check with the players who have the higher win rates, they generally speaking started at a lower tier of Warships. So don't want to take anything away from them. Please, that is not my intent whatsoever. They're obviously still winning, but that is one of the reasons why people can have a slightly increased win rate. And I've already regret saying all of those words. Nonetheless, let's keep rushing the Heavies. Now, as many of you probably already know, the Heavy meta is not sustainable. This is going to need to be changed by me once I get to a slightly higher level. But that can wait. For right now, we're 10 for 10. My base is terrible. It's all just about running faster than the other person, and shock mines are the key to that. If you have the option to unlock brick or unlock shock mines, I hope this video shows you that shock mines are far, far more important than brick, because a bunch, if not everyone we're facing off again, has brick, and we're still pulling their pants down and spanking them. Hopefully that image is not too graphic in your minds. If it is, it's Friday, people. Let loose a little bit. Nonetheless, hopefully pulling out our 11th straight win. I was going to keep going until you know what? I'm just going to keep going until I fail. Just because yesterday, the video, I was not, by the way, you see that? They're using cluster grenade. If you hit the engine room with cluster grenade, you can absolutely do boatloads of damage, but I don't feel like it's the best ability of bricks. They were able to clear my shock mines using it though. So a bit of a shout out to Paps 2 there. I will try to show the replays as they're happening, simply because that is something I have not been good at. Excuse me. Let's just keep looking. I like to tap looking for shock mines a couple times and then just blindly dropping my troops. If you are good enough to hide your shock mines where I can't find them at initial glance, you deserve to win. And at this point, I'm almost like, once I get into win rates, or once I get into win streaks, I almost want to lose. I don't like being in the middle of a win streak makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Man, lots to talk about feelings in today's video. Nonetheless, let's keep burning through all of this stuff, trying to keep our heavies alive, using shocks to do so. Obviously, machine guns and flamethrowers just cut through them like hot butter through a knife. That's totally backwards, but I'm sticking with it. Hot butter cutting through something would be amazing scene to withhold. I just totally used the wrong words there as well. Getting too interested and uptight about this whole win streak thing. 3 minutes, 12 seconds should be a win without hitting any shock mines. So my shock mines going to give us the win, as you can see there. This person using Grenadiers to help clear shock mines, help clear mines, but at the expense of their layout. Just means they dropped and used flares and things. With Heavies and Grenadiers, you need to do a split drop. That person dropped all on the right-hand side. Moving on up, that's 2 ranks, I believe. Obviously, with win streaks, you do get extra stars, so there are advantages to using win streaks, and that is what... Oh, we're someone's boss base. We are someone's boss base. They have level 5 shock mines, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful. I think I can avoid every single shock mine by going right and using some fancy flaring, so that is exactly what we're going to do. Let's go to the right, to the right. Is that is that like a Beyonce song? I feel like to the right is a complete and utter Beyonce song, but I have been wrong before at least once. So we're just going to carry on without music trivia and see if we can't just get past all of these shock mines simply by flaring along this right-hand wall. I think we're going to hit, though. Yep, so now that we've hit, I'm going to flare right onto that engine room, throw some shocks out, and get our troops burning. And now, as soon as that explodes, we're going to get walking along this right wall, and we're still going to hit that one heavy, just impacting all of our dudes. But thankfully, as soon as we're past that one shock mine, we should be golden. Now we just need to keep our dudes running. That person still hasn't started attacking. What the heck? Let's get all of our dudes in behind, going right to left simply to avoid the shock mines. And I think that's the right call. If you guys have a different strategy, whether it's just throwing some rifles in with your heavies or just hitting the shock mines, because they have max level shock mines, I really do think going to the right was the correct call there. But if you have another attack strategy, I would love to hear it as well. Maybe dropping heavies and Grens and letting the Grens clear. Oh, look at what the captain just threw in the towel. Was that an instant retreat? I think, yeah. So they are, I'm guessing, are dropping down to get another win streak or something like that. Doesn't that replay log just look pretty? I love the look of that. Let's keep going. I've not loving the fact that I've committed myself to playing until I fail. Max level shock mines. So this one, we're going to have to be this is going to be our first real challenge, I think. Now that we're starting to get a little bit higher, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just try. I've never used this strategy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a shot. We're going to go one heavy on the left with some Grens. Is that going to be enough? I don't know if that's going to be enough. Sorry, I'm making this up as we go along. Not super duper excited about it, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's go like this. Obviously, this would be far, far better if we had Miss Brick involved to speed up one of the sides. We don't have that luxury, so we're just going to have to hold on and see what we can do here. I have to go back and forth to make sure that all of our troops are not dying, but so far, so good. Let's shock that cannon over there so that our heavies can stay alive, staying alive, staying alive. Oh, oh, oh. I think our win streak is done for, but we are moving forwards. We are making progress. Our Grenadiers are doing wonderful, wonderful things for us. As you can see, clearing shock mines like crazy. That is their primary benefit right here. Our Heavies are doing all sorts of damage. We've got one engine room down. Heavies are also drawing fire from those mortars. Now we just need to get one engine room down so we can flare the other one. Come on. Heavies just burning. This is not going to be fast enough, I don't think, but we shall find out very, very soon as I tap the flare button like a crazy, crazy person. Let's get this down. I should have flared closer with those Grenadiers, but I think our win streak's going to be gone. Just instantly failing the first time we see a decent base. So James has a decent base. We got wrecked. Let's see what James did to win, simply because he broke our win streak. And this is the interesting thing that I find in Warships. Anytime you find a new meta or try a new meta or try and learn a new meta, you're going to make mistakes. Let's see what he does. Up the middle. Well done, James. Obviously, my base is not well prepared for that, so I'm impressed. I like it. Well done, James. That is a great little strategy. Again, my base just needs some work. I need to put some effort into it. Also, I have all sorts of tokens that I should be spending sooner rather than later. So anyways, hopefully you saw something in there that was interesting. For me, Warships is all about the 2 up, 1 back sort of thing, where you slowly get better and then you run into a wall and you have to learn a new strategy. So hopefully my videos are helping you avoid those losing things where you have to learn the new strategy from scratch. If you have any requests, please hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, as always, thanks for coming in. Have a fantastic weekend. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace.